Well, good afternoon. Today we take another big step toward turning our shared vision of transit-oriented, vibrant, mixed-income communities into reality. Our actions today will create and fund a program to build more affordable housing across King County, housing that is centered around major transit investments. I'm grateful to the Washington State Legislature for authorizing the funding tool that now allows King County to bond against future hotel motel revenues, tax revenues, to create housing for people who need it right now, today, in our communities. It will generate up to $87 million to fund the construction of more, and I very much hope well more than, 1,000 units of affordable housing over the next 5 years. The math is simple. As we build out light rail and rapid ride and other high-capacity transit routes, the region becomes accessible to far more people. And yet at the same time, the property, the land around those new transit stations becomes more desirable and thus more expensive. The legislation enables us to purchase that land within a half mile of the stations and to begin housing development, affordable housing development, immediately. We will create affordable housing for restaurant workers, for childcare providers, for others who are working hard every day but have a hard time finding housing that they can afford for themselves and their families. And we are going to be able to keep our residents connected through that high-capacity transit to jobs and education and all the opportunities that this remarkable economy in the Central Puget Sound region provides. Thanks to the work of many of you here today, we will make these investments across King County, on the east side in the Bel-Red corridor, along Interstate 90 between Issaquah and North Bend, at Northgate, which will become a major transit hub, near Othello Station and other sites south of downtown Seattle, at the Federal Way Transit Center. And in 7 years, students and staff right here at Highline College will have a better chance to find an affordable place to live within walking distance of campus and within walking distance of a brand new light rail station. We aim to push the first funds from this measure out by the end of this year. We've created this program with so much help from the King County Housing Authority and the Housing Development Consortium and its members. And I want to thank them very much for being partners in creating affordable housing for all of our community. And I want to give a special mention of the late Harry Hoffman, the former Housing Development Consortium Executive Director. He led the initial effort to gain the legislative approval of this funding tool. Without his vision and his persistence with the legislature, we would not have gotten to this milestone. And we have kept a chair in the front row here open in his honor. I also appreciate the leadership of the chair of the Budget Committee of the King County Council, Councilmember Dave Upthegrove. He moved this initiative through the County Council. He expanded the Transit Station Housing and Development Initiative I launched last September. He nearly doubled the amount of bonds that we can sell to build affordable housing. We're at a remarkable moment in this region. We have the opportunity to create permanent affordability around the kind of transit access that we have never seen here, and to give every person the ability to grab on to that economic opportunity, to do better than their parents did, to make a better future for their kids. This is a major building block in that effort. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Councilmember Dave Upthegrove.
Well, good afternoon. I wanted to start by saying why I think this is a big deal and why this is important. I saw a study recently out of New York that looked at statistically, a statistical analysis at what is the greatest predictor of economic mobility, the ability for people to move up the economic ladder. And I would have thought, what would you think it is? I would have thought it would have been education. But surprisingly, their analysis found that the greatest predictor of economic mobility was access to employment. And right now in this region, we have a housing crisis. Many people cannot afford to live near where they work. And we are making exciting investments in transit around the county to connect people from their homes to their workplaces. But without us taking action, we risk the housing around these transit stations being priced out of the price range of the average person. So by making this big investment in this region in affordable housing near transit stations, we're making sure that people can access employment. We're giving people opportunities not only for a home, but for economic opportunity to build better lives for themselves, and that's very exciting. A few folks I'd like to thank and recognize. One, I'm very proud of the way that the executive and the county council worked together, and we were able to build upon a vision that the county executive brought to us to be able to do more housing faster, and we ended up with a great outcome that we all could support. I also want to appreciate the local governments, particularly down here. We have the mayor of Kent, Suzette Cook, with us. There's sort of a myth that suburban cities don't want to plan for density. What the city of Kent has done in the last decade in the sub area here across from the college is remarkable, to work with their community to plan for the growth that's coming. Because of the groundwork that local governments have laid, we have an environment here that is ripe for investment. Second, I also want to recognize that we couldn't have done this without the support of the state legislature giving us this tool. And in particular, the dogged advocacy of the Speaker of the House, Frank Chopp, who's with us today. And I know he was dogged in his advocacy because I was there with him during this. And we would not have this tool were it not for that advocacy on behalf of the state legislature. And we use those tools that are given to us. I also think that the role that our nonprofit housing developers play is so critical. They're the ones who are going to be doing this work in the community. And I'm really excited about some renewed attention in South King County. We know that the highest levels of need are here in South King County, the greatest levels of poverty, the greatest income disparities, and I'm really excited to work with our nonprofit housing developers to provide opportunity here in South King County. And I want to finish with a little story. About 9 years ago, my father lost his vision unexpectedly. He went blind. And not that long ago, I set my alarm clock for 4:30 in the morning, and I scooped up my dad, and we drove up to Seattle, and we jumped into the cold water of Lake Washington. And with me at his side, we swam a half a mile. Then we got on a tandem bicycle, and we pedaled 12.5 miles. And then with me at his side, we ran a 5K. And my dad, at age 75 and blind, successfully completed Seattle's Seafair Triathlon. And I realized as we're coming across the finish line that morning that my dad was demonstrating a powerful truth. Working together, we can overcome any obstacle. And that's what this day is about. It's the state legislature, the county council, our local governments, our nonprofit housing developers, all working together to overcome the challenges people face to get affordable housing and access to the work they're doing. So I'm excited to join the county executive in this bill signing today. With that, we'll turn it over to Kelly Ryder.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Kelly Ryder, Policy Director for the Housing Development Consortium, and I was fortunate enough to be hired by the late Harry Hoffman, without whom I would not have been able to work on this state legislation and see it through to this momentous occasion. It's a perfect time where we need new, bold strategies, and it's an exciting day to be able to say that we are implementing exactly that. Across our county, currently 127,000 households are paying more than half of their income right now for housing costs, placing them just one crisis away from homelessness. More and more families are having to move farther and farther from their jobs and communities just to find an affordable place to call home. But by providing affordable homes near transit, this plan will cut household expenses for low-income people, reduce traffic congestion, and ensure that our families can spend more time together rather than stuck in traffic. This is an incredibly robust and intentional plan that will allow the county to address the urgency and scale of today's crisis and also strategically invest in creating equitable communities for years to come, and as you heard, across the entire county. We're especially grateful to the state, county, and local elected officials who have championed this bold approach. I want to give special thanks to Executive Constantine, Councilmember Up the Grove, and the many other council members who helped move this through. Of course, special thanks also to Speaker Chop and our bill sponsors, Representative Larry Springer and Senator Mark Malosha, and many others who made sure that this vision became a reality. This achievement shows that we can all come together to address our region's housing crisis. With unanimous support from the King County Council, bipartisan support from state legislators, and support from the business, environmental, social justice, labor, housing, human services, and faith communities. We hope to continue working with this broad group of stakeholders to ensure everyone in King County has a safe, healthy, and affordable home in a community of opportunity. And with that, I would introduce one of our fabulous affordable housing developers, Bill Rumpf from Mercy Housing Northwest.
Everyone. Well, I'm really pleased to have the chance to represent among my colleagues here to thank the county executive, the county council, and Speaker Chop for making this happen. What I want to talk about is specifically really what's going to happen from this. 6 months ago, we did a groundbreaking with the county executive, the CEO of Sound Transit on a site we call Mercy Othello Plaza. Right, a block and a half from the light rail. It'll provide 108 units of housing. 2/3 of the apartments will be 2 and 3 bedrooms, serving families. It'll serve incomes between $15,000 and $50,000, so low-wage working families. And like many nonprofits, we have a number of sort of supports and connections on site so that people can be upwardly mobile. The combination of housing near high-capacity transit is a path to opportunity for people. And so, the combination of sponsors like those in the room here really can make that turn into reality. We have another development that opened about 4 years ago, right by the Columbia City Light Rail. And in terms of where people are working, one of them works at a large downtown department store. 3 of them work in health system up on First Hill. Several work down near the airport near jobs. And so this program, as you can see, has picked locations all around the county so people can live where they want and then be connected to jobs where they want. And that really, by connecting the money with the land, this really is a unique, powerful step. So anyway, thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thank you for making this program happen.
And so now we're going to have a ceremonial signing of the motion. I, as executive, sign all of the bond instruments. So let this be the surrogate for all those signatures you won't get to see.
It's done.
So with thanks to Councilmember Up the Grove, as well as co-sponsors of this motion, Council Members Balducci and Cole Wells, I am signing motion 14687 to create up to $87 million of housing affordable to the hard-working people of Martin Luther King County.